What's up, everybody? It's me, E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews. Welcome back. We are here to talk about Season 2, Episode 7 of From. Last time we left off, my man Boyd was putting his wormy-looking blood all inside of Joker Face's neck, and Joker, maybe he died, we don't really know, but y'all, we need to get through a lot of stuff today, so let's jump right into the episode. Fatima sits down with Christy and finds out that she's got a positive pregnancy test. The sun has come up and Joker Face is still on the ground. Everyone comes out to examine the body and realizes that Smiley was in desperate need of both a manicure and lotion. Boyd wants to take the body inside and Christy agrees that they should study it. Boyd sends Ellis back to Colony House so people wouldn't come out there and worry. Kenny is scared that they're bringing something evil into their home. Everyone ignores him because he sounded dumb. Okay, real quick, I've got nothing but love for my man Kenny, but bruh, shut up! Okay, shut up! You got these monsters out here terrorizing folks each and every night, and the one time y'all could actually get some answers, you over here being irrational? Bruh, go sit down somewhere. If you're scared, go to church. Now, going back to Joker Face's body, I don't know about y'all, but I was really thinking that it was gonna burn up in the sunlight or something. That doesn't appear to be the case though, so I guess we can maybe rule that notion out, that these monsters are harmed by sunlight. Now, judging from the beginning of Season 2 in the tunnels, they just so happen to sleep during the day, and that's about it. Now, why they come out only at night is still just a bit of a mystery, because remember when Victor and Tabitha escaped the tunnels, no monsters came chasing after them. Anyway, we've got to see what happens during this autopsy, because maybe we'll finally get some answers. Okay, let's back up a little bit and talk about Fatima and her pregnancy. So, it is confirmed that she is pregnant, but like, what does that actually mean in a place like this? We don't really know, but I do think that her pregnancy is going to be somewhat of a unique situation, right? The one thing I'm going to pay attention to is the actual pregnancy itself, because I shared with you all my theory before that I think this place, this town has a weird effect on people's bodies. So for example, we saw Ethan after he got impaled, in his leg, he healed up really fast. Then you also have Boyd on the flip side of that, where he has, Parkinson's potentially, and it seems to be accelerating at a quicker rate. So my guess here is that Fatima's pregnancy, maybe it accelerates, maybe it goes quicker, maybe the baby grows, maybe she's not going to be pregnant for 9 months, maybe she'll only be pregnant for 3 months. I don't know, but it is something I want to pay attention to. And by the way, when it comes to Fatima, I want you to stay tuned because I do actually have an interview with Pega herself, the actress that plays her, and you don't want to miss it. She was saying some wild things, okay, some wild stuff. And again, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. So make sure you stay tuned and watch that. Matter of fact, I might even throw in a little something for you guys at the end of the video, just because it's you. Dale is wondering what will happen to him after stabbing Ellis. He is still pushing his belief that there are too many people with the addition of the folks from the bus and that there's just not enough food for everyone. The bus driver wants to know what will happen to Stabby McStabby. Before Donna could even give an answer, Ellis and Fatima return to the Colony House. Hey, fun fact, did you know that Dale and Donna, the actors, did you know that they were actually married in real life? I mean, kudos to both of them because they were doing a great job in this scene. Now, just something to kind of keep in mind. I know a lot of people were saying like, yo, we got to throw Dale in the box. He got to go. But I want to remind people that, like, just like Dale was kind of saying in the beginning of the scene, what are you going to do? Throw me in the box? That's what the town does. Keep in mind that the town and the Colony House, yeah, they're in the same place, but they operate by two different set of rules. We already saw how the Colony House gets down with like a more communal type of situation where they share everything and sometimes even people, but like they don't operate the same way that the town does. The town is the one that came up. Keep in mind, Boyd runs the town. They're the ones that came up with the whole box situation. So it doesn't necessarily mean that Dale will go into the box, but at the same time, I don't think it's completely off the table either. But my question for you is this. What do you think they should do with Dale? Given the Colony House and their rules, do you think he should go in the box? for stabbing Ellis. It didn't seem like he did it on purpose. I mean, it sounds like he actually likes Ellis and he's cool with him. And it was a mistake, but at the same time, he was kind of reckless. So y'all let me know, what do you think should happen to Dale? Back at Mrs. Lou's house, Ethan says that he wants to go visit Victor at Colony House. Jim tells the kids that nobody is going anywhere and they are not going back to Colony House. But then Tabitha said it might not be a bad idea to let them go. Jim said, hold up, wait a minute, let me holler at you outside for a quick second. Tabitha doesn't want the kids to be all cooped up, but he believes that this place is being controlled by the powers that be. After their argument, Jim sees a drone fly by him that was being controlled by Discount Chris Evans. Now, just real quick, I do want to kind of comment on the whole situation between Jim and Tabitha, with this whole argument or whatever. And I'm gonna just say, as a parent, I could tell you that it's never a good thing for you or your partner not to be on the same page, especially in front of your kids. I mean, first of all, they should have had better communication before dictating anything to the kids. So I do put that on Jim for not talking to Tabitha first. Then Tabitha was definitely wrong for contradicting Jim right in front of the kids like that. That's not a good way to build integrity as the heads of a family. However, when they did talk outside, Tabitha had a very good point about not trying to keep the kids all cooped up. Let's be real. You in a weird town, people dying, monsters coming out, people having weird dreams and hallucinations and all that stuff. The last thing you want to do in this place is keep, to yourself, because you never know what information could help people or to help you escape or whatever. So I do kind of side with Tabitha on that end. Matter of fact, haven't I been saying that y'all need more town meetings in this place anyway? Now, let me just say, I'm not entirely mad at Jim right here because, he is right. Victor is weird. He's a grown-looking man who is emotionally stunted, and he is walking around with a whole gun in his lunchbox. Which one of y'all finna let y'all kids walk around with somebody like that? So I'm not mad at that. Now, I will say, though, Jim is being also very stuck to his theory about this whole experiment thing, right? That the powers that be are just trying to see what happens and how they react to all the chaos and stuff. I like his theory. I do think it's very plausible, especially since stuff like this has happened in the past. My only issue with Jim, and he is a smart guy, the issue I have with him is that he's being a little too narrow with this. And he is being so narrow that when you stick to a theory, and by the way, this goes for some of y'all out there too. When you stick to a theory so tightly, it is easier for you to miss other possibilities along the way. And Jim is starting to get that tunnel vision that it's gotta be this one thing. And what he failed to recognize is that maybe certain things also come into account. And Tabitha brought that point up when she said, like, yo, how do you even know that the voice you heard was even human? And you saw how Jim was just kind of like, because it does not compute if you gonna sit there and just, stay confined to your one theory. And she was right. You don't know if the voice on there was human. That voice could have been a ghost. That voice could have been a hallucination of some sort. I don't know. Maybe the ghost, maybe it was one of the monsters. We literally see monsters walking around that look and talk like humans. You have no idea. But Jim was just so hard set that it's gotta be this thing. He just didn't even calculate that. So once again, I like where he's going, but I do hope that he doesn't, rule out other possibilities along the way. Boyd and everyone else lay out Joker Face's body. Kenny is still resistant to the idea of examining the body and asks what happened to the COVID worms that Boyd put into it. Marielle starts to throw up due to her withdrawal. Christy told Boyd that Marielle's been sober for a year. However, after Christy's disappearance, she ended up relapsing. All right, so first of all, y'all didn't need to do all them close-ups on Smiley's face like that. I did not appreciate it. It was not needed. We know what he looked like. You don't have to show me that face like that. So I don't like that. But look, I do think that Kenny was right. What did happen to the COVID worms? Because we sitting here with this dead body and I don't see no worms. Ain't nothing moving around. Something is off about that. And the other thing is, do you really want to examine that up close? Yeah, I don't see no face masks. Y'all got some little, kitchen gloves on, but I don't see nothing else covering your face. You don't know what could happen, what bacteria flying or whatever, but whatever. Okay, we'll see. Jim meets up with discount Chris Evans. He tells him that the drone was a gift for his nephew. Jim asks him about how much weight could his drone carry, and he wants him to follow him a little bit out of town. Chris, not Evans, called out stranger danger, but ended up going anyway when Jim told him that the drone might be a way to get them back home. They head back to Jim's RV to grab the antenna. He wants to use the drone and the antenna to try and get a better signal. Chris on sale Evans plants the idea that there might be an insider keeping the experiment going. Man, this dude is a real piece of work. I didn't like that little shot that he threw at Jim trying to imply that he was the cause for the two guys that died as they were trying to save Tabitha or whatever. But I will say, evil Chris Evans got a point. He did make a good point. It is entirely possible that one or more of the townspeople could be traitors, right? We don't know. Or they could be inside people or something like that. I mean, if you were running an experiment, you would need someone or something to keep everything or everyone in line. I mean, there has to be, usually in a science experiment, there has to be a control. There has to be something that keeps the experiment going in the direction that you're trying to, pursue. So I've got some thoughts on who the insider, traitor, or traitors could be, but I'm going to put that in a separate video. That's going to be something else that we have to talk about. In the meantime, who do you think the traitors or insiders could be? Let me know what you think. Victor is checking for the movement of the trees. Ethan shows up, but Victor shoos him away. He said that he wanted to protect Ethan by having him stay away from him. Feeling bad, he ends up inviting Ethan to come help him measure the trees anyway. Victor mentions that the trees are losing their leaves. Ethan says that this happens every year, but Victor said, nah, not in this place. Victor also goes on to say that when things change, it's not a good thing. So I think it's pretty obvious that Victor has gone through some traumatic stuff while he's been in this town. Not only has he lost family, with his mom or whatever, but he's probably also lost a lot of friends along the way as well during probably whatever that massacre was that happened a long time ago, back when he was younger. So even though he's telling Ethan to stay away, because bad things happen to his friends, I really think that Victor is just trying to protect himself from suffering more trauma by, having another loss. But once again, Victor is drawing attention to something that has repeatedly been brought up, and that this place is changing. The leaves are falling, and that hasn't happened before. Like I said last time, anything that's new to Victor should be a major red flag for us, the audience. So we know Victor's been here the longest, so if something new or different out of the ordinary happens, we have to pay certain attention, special attention to that for what might come of that. So far, it doesn't seem like it's going to be anything good. Tabitha goes into the bar and finds Jade working on a new way to distill the liquor. She wants to know why he wasn't surprised when he found her in the woods screaming after seeing those dusty kids in the woods. He tells her that he was attacked by an angry Civil War soldier. He told her that she has to help him get more answers. He then tells her about Christopher, and she tells him about the ashy kids that were asking her for lotion. She thought she was being punished for the death of Thomas. As she was about to leave, she sees the symbol right there. She told Jade that she saw it in the walls of the tunnels. Oh my God, finally, we got people talking about their hallucinations. I've been waiting for this. I needed y'all to do this since season 1, but okay, we're here now. It's about dang on time. I am also not a fan of Jade over here delaying our answers. Okay, you finally got the two people that need to talk, and then you over here want to take a break so you can distill some liquor. Bruh, stop the liquor, get to talking. But like I said, this meetup is what I'm really going to be paying attention to. Jade and Tabitha are both having really strong hallucinations that make them maybe connect in some type of way. Now, I haven't finished it yet, but in one of my breakdowns for the last episodes of season 1, I will be pointing out to you guys how these two are definitely connected in a way that you might have missed. So make sure you go watch those season 1 breakdowns, even if you've already binged the season. Now, something else I wanted to kind of point out to y'all real quick, and y'all let me know if you thought the same or if this kind of crossed your mind. I thought it was kind of interesting that Jade changed his clothes, and he didn't just change his clothes like in any other way. He kind of sort of put on like similar colors that Tom had. Tom was the other bartender that unfortunately died, but he was the guy that was there before, and it just kind of makes me wonder. There was like a little theory that was going around, and that was like, does the town or the experiment, do people in the town have to play specific roles? I mean, there are people in this town that kind of sort of are similar or do similar things. For example, you got Frank. He was an alcoholic. But then all of a sudden, when Frank is dead, who comes into town? Marielle, another person that has an addiction problem. Now you have Tom and Jade, both seeming to fill out this bartender role. And I will say, I think that Donna and the bus driver, they might be kind of similar because they are both two strong female leaders who happen to be in the colony house. So this could be something interesting just to keep an eye on as the series progresses. Now, we do hear from Tabitha that yes, she did see the symbol, in the tunnels. And, this is obviously something that is piquing Jade's interest, but I want y'all not to forget something. Tabitha was not the only one who saw that symbol. You know who else saw it? Victor. But remember when Jade tried to show him the symbol and Victor tried to act as though he didn't recognize it? Well, that was clearly a lie. Victor has synced it, and that means that Victor is still withholding information that could be helpful. So right now, I don't trust Victor at all. And I'm going to give y'all one little theory at the end of this video that might blow your mind, because I was just thinking about it as I was making this, and I want to share it with y'all to see if I could be right. Stay tuned. Christy begins to cut into the body, and immediately it starts to twitch. Kenny starts to just freak out. He's not worried about the monster, but rather the COVID worms that killed it. Christy sees them as more of a poison for the monsters. She admits that yes, she is scared, but she also wants Kenny right there by her side. He told her that he loved her, but he just can't take watching her potentially get killed. Once again, if y'all don't stop with all these dang on close-ups on Joker Face's face like that, I don't like it. I don't need to see all of that, okay? But let me just say, my man Kenny had a good point. At first I thought he was tripping, but you know what? He made a good case. It's one thing to be afraid of these monsters and all that, but it's another thing to be afraid of the thing that killed the monsters, because that's a whole different level right there. We have no idea how these worms work, except for the fact that they're bad enough to kill these monsters. Now, let me talk to Christy for a second, because let me not have to call the Backstreet Boys on you, because I'm going to need you to stop playing games with my man's heart. Okay, you over here talking about we're in it together and all of that, but then you got a whole fiance that you bumped Kenny for. Like, hey, if you into some kind of entanglement situation, then maybe that might change some things. Marielle wakes up and starts looking for Christy. She goes into the room and Joker Face's body is now missing. Boyd asks what's wrong, and they both see Joker Face walking towards them. Boyd yells at her to run and starts shooting at him. Just then she hears and sees the music box playing. Joker Face gets closer and Marielle wakes up. Oh my God, I'm so sick of this show. I'm sick of them. Okay, y'all got me the last time in the beginning of the season when Christy was having her dream in the RV. That wasn't cool. Now this got me too. I'm sitting here yelling at Boyd like, bruh, what are you shooting for? You know them bullets don't work. What are you doing? But now that Marielle is seeing this music box, this is clearly not a good sign. This is making me wonder a couple of things. One, why is Marielle seeing the music box all of a sudden? Also, why is it happening in her dreams? We know that the music box is not a good sign at all. According to Martin, once that music stops, that's when they, whoever or whatever they are, will come. So you all tell me, why do you think this music box just so happened to appear? Fatima heads out to go meet up with Donna. Donna's out there planting some plants, but she says that they keep on dying. But Fatima doesn't really care about all that, and she blurts out that she's pregnant. She also mentions that she was told that it was medically impossible for her to become pregnant. Fatima wonders if this place is just trying to torture her, but Donna reminds her that having a kid could be a good thing, especially after meeting the love of her life in Ellis. Now, Donna's comment here shouldn't just fly right by us. I mean, she mentioned how it seemed like the soil was poisoned and that things just won't grow anymore. Now, this could be more of like, I guess, the punishment or the after effects of this place being angry. Recall at the end of the last season, the boy in white did confirm Nathan's theory that this place can become upset and push back if basically you act up. So it's possible that not only can this place tear down and bring down houses, but, you know, and bring on storms to ruin crops, but maybe it can also corrupt the soil too. And I think this would actually back up what Victor mentioned when he said that the leaves were falling and that this place was changing. He said that the changes aren't a good thing, and this could be further proof of that. But this makes me want to pay even more attention to her pregnancy. However, now that we have this added wrinkle of her not being able to get pregnant, it makes me wonder, will this be some sort of immaculate conception? I mean, I told y'all last time that I did think that, you know, a baby being born in this place potentially could have a stronger connection. You know, maybe this baby will grow up and just, I don't know, like just know how this place feels or connect to it or whatever. Because remember, when people enter this town, they have weird reactions and they start to adapt in a way, you know, kind of like Ethan or Elgin or whatever, right? But my question for this is, if this is some sort of, you know, immaculate conception, if it is a miracle, right, or something like that, does that mean that this child could be a Christ-like savior type of figure, or could it just be the Antichrist of some sort? Could it be, you know, the devil incarnate or whatever? I mean, this kid could bring on a full-on disaster. Let me know what you think. Boyd and Christy continue on with the autopsy. Kenny returns back to help. They crack open the sternum and it appears as though the monster has a human anatomy. However, the main difference here is that the organs are all shriveled up. There's no fluid or blood in the body. Christy gets frustrated and shanks the monster multiple times. That is, until she finds some bile in the gallbladder. Boyd tells Kenny to go find a container for them to put the fluid in. He also wants to test whether or not that bile can kill the monsters, but Boyd says that they're going to delay that for another day. He then offers Kenny the badge to come back and watch his six, but Kenny just leaves him on scene. Oh my goodness. Okay, there is a lot to talk about. I guess love makes you do some crazy things. I mean, because Kenny is right there back at Christy's side. And I'm just gonna chalk that up. He just young and dumb. You know what I'm saying? Still got milk on his tongue. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just ain't, you know, you still chasing this girl. She don't want you, bro. She already got the fiance. Come on now, stop it. But let's talk about the monster's body for a second. The organs looked like they were human. Whoa. I mean, what could this mean? My mind is already racing with all these different possibilities. I mean, the first thing that popped in my mind was like, maybe they were turned into monsters and I don't know, they just kill people for fun. Then again, it also makes me think about the fact that we have no idea what the monsters actually do to people. Yes, we know that they torture people like that poor girl Kelly and the tree, but all we see is just the aftermath of them gutting their victims. I don't know about you, but initially I assumed that they were eating people, you know, given all their sharp teeth and all. But now I have to wonder if it was maybe for a different reason. Could it be that they've been stealing people's organs? I don't know, to do experiments on them, or maybe even to study the human body. We've seen these monsters be fascinated, I guess, with looking human, especially when we saw that girl in Colony House staring at herself in the mirror. Maybe the monsters give themselves organ transplants and BBLs to stay alive. I don't know. Now, we should also keep in mind that this body that they're examining is also somewhat compromised. It had those worms in it, and we don't know what effect those worms have on the bodies of the monsters besides, well, from what it looks like, killing them. Maybe the worms dried out the body. Maybe it turned the organs into something different. Although, I do think that maybe the bodies were kind of dry in the first place. Because keep in mind, when they get shot or when they get cut, no liquids come out either. So I don't know. Also, it would appear that maybe the worms shriveled up the organs. I mean, Christy did say that it almost looked like the organs had been desiccated. I mean, it's kind of like something that you would see in a museum. And this makes me think about Martin. He looked like he was really old. However, it could be the case that the worms not only feed off of you the way that Boyd said, but maybe they also age you up and dry you out. Maybe that's the torture Martin was subjected to, meaning he probably wasn't as old as he actually looked. Then, of course, we have to talk about like this bile that they found in the gallbladder. I mean, could the worms still be in that in some way? I didn't see no worms floating around, in the container, but maybe this could be something that they can study, to fight against the monsters in some way. I mean, I know some people were thinking that the worms or even Boyd's blood might be useful in some way, but I don't think that's the case. I think that maybe the whole my blood is your blood thing, maybe that's some sort of magic that's going around this place or whatever. I do think that, by saying that, it seems like there's an automatic transfer that happens. I mean, keep in mind, the second Martin transferred his blood, he died. He was done. And, the other evidence that we have is that once Boyd gave, Joker Face his blood, he was able to give Ellis his blood. And guess what? We haven't seen any worms in, Boyd's arm, and it's not like Ellis is complaining of worms either. So I do think that whenever you transfer these worms, it's a clean transfer in itself. So hopefully this bile or whatever might be a legitimate way to fight against these monsters. So you all tell me, what do you make of this new discovery of the bile and all that? Like, do you think that this could be something that they can use, or is it just kind of like a waste? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Elgin tells Julie about Boyd killing the monster. He said that there was something he was supposed to remember from his dream, but he just can't remember what it is. Julie gives him a little trick that she does, which is to take a bath and to lay in the tub. She said that it helps her relax and to kind of think about things. Elgin said that he doesn't take baths. Hold up, Elgin, but you do take showers, right? Right? Fatima goes to Ellis and lets him know that she's got some news for him. Marielle tells Christy about her bad dream and the music box. Elgin decides to follow Julie's advice and finally takes a bath. He begins to relax and sees and hears the weird music box playing. He's suddenly pulled underwater by some creepy, ghoulish looking being. Whoa, okay, whoa. What the hell was that? So wait. So now Elgin can see the music box and hear it too? I mean, was he dreaming? Was this some sort of hallucination as well? I mean, we just saw Marielle saw it, but that was in her dream. But now Elgin is potentially seeing this as a vision or something. Either way, none of this is good. Okay. None of this is good that now more people are starting to see this music box. Now I like this pool setting or whatever, because it kind of reminded me of Stranger Things, back when Elle would sit in the tub or the tank or whatever, and just, start to do her psychic stuff. But all I know is they all better talk about this. I don't want to hear nobody acting like, oh, I got a secret, and I don't want to tell nobody about this music. But y'all better talk about it. Talk to everyone about it, period. Matter of fact, I'm going to need them to make a whole new town rule. If it's weird, you talk about it with everyone. But what the hell was that was holding him down? It looked like some dead body that was wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Like, was that Vacation at Bernie's coming to get him or something? Like, I don't understand. So was this a dead body from someone in the town? Is it a warning? Is it a threat? I have no idea, but y'all let me know what the heck was that was on top of Elgin. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway, that's all we got for this episode. This is the point where I tell y'all my rating for this episode. I did like it, but I don't think that it was as good as the last episode. So when it comes to the rating, I'm probably gonna have to give this a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, still enjoyed it, but you know, it looks like they're doing way more stuff to set up more things later on. And hopefully, you know, hopefully they got to drive this home. But I did tell you guys that I had a little theory, little something I wanted to share with y'all. And it has to do with Victor. And I need y'all to just let me know what you think about this. Have y'all noticed, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, have y'all noticed that Victor has been acting very weird, right? And I've had a weird thought, which was, I had this feeling that we don't really know a lot about Victor. All we know is that Victor has been here the longest. All we know is that clearly Victor is like emotionally stunted in some way. I'm sitting here thinking it's because of the trauma. I'm sitting here thinking because, you know, maybe he's on the spectrum or something. But I got another theory right now. And that theory at this point is, I'm starting to believe that Victor got the worms. Yes, Victor might have the worms. Have y'all ever seen his arms? He's always wearing a long sleeve shirt, and based off of what we just saw, it does seem as though these worms will potentially make you age quicker. Victor don't look like the healthiest of people. I'm just saying, my man ain't been eating his Wheaties like that, and that's no diss to the actor or nothing. I'm just saying, I would not be too surprised if in whatever capacity Victor might have some worms. Don't be surprised if that's a twist or something. Now, keep in mind, when he first saw Boyd with them worms, he didn't look shocked, right? I forget which episode that was, but my man did not look shocked. He had that look on his face that was kind of like, yeah. And I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know if that meant like, oh, I'm disgusted by you, or, oh, you too? Like, I don't know, but y'all let me know. Do you think Victor got the worms? Does he have the COVID worms? I ain't see him get no vaccines. I don't know, but y'all let me know what you think. Now, as I mentioned, I do have a little something for you, and that is a little snippet from my interview with the cast members. And I'm gonna give y'all, just because it's you guys, I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek before I drop the actual full interview. So please go ahead, stay tuned, check that out right after this. But before I go, I do want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see y'all next week. Here we go. Fatima's character is clearly worried that her pregnancy could be either a torment or a curse. And she's talking to Donna, and Donna thinks that maybe it's the opposite. So my question for you is, if you were in her shoes, in Fatima's shoes, how would you interpret the news of being pregnant in Fromville?
I don't think I'd interpret it any different than Fatima's interpreting it. Evil monster babies aside, she's a child. And I don't think she was expecting or prepared for a child, especially since her own family isn't there to help. And I knowing Fatima, I don't think she'd feel comfortable burdening other people with anything else. Right. But I feel like I would be reacting the same way. I'd be a little bit more scared than she is, but I'm sure she has other things on her mind. So
if you're new here and you like what you see, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss out the next time I drop a video. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.